So I'm Andy Brint. I'm the Director of Fiery Integration and the Director of Enterprise Solutions here at EFI.
Okay.
What I do is I help customers connect their workflow and work with some of our largest customers to manage their fleet of Firies.
Okay. And just to the uninitiated, what is Fiery? Just in its most basic, one sentence.
Fiery is a controller for a wide variety of EFI and partner-made printers.
Okay. So we were going to ask you a little bit about Fiery Navigator, right?
Yes.
In a nutshell, what is Fiery Navigator? How is it different to the rest of the Fiery suite?
Yeah, so Fiery Navigator is a add-on component to Fiery, and it allows you to gain visibility into your fleet. So one of the issues that customers have is they buy a Fiery, they love it, they buy another Fiery, and they need to manually configure it to be just like the other Fiery. With Fiery Navigator, we can capture that personalization, that configuration, push it to the cloud, restore that back to the same Fiery, or make that personalization, how I've made that my own Fiery, the same on every Fiery in my fleet.
So it's kind of a way of syncing, of synchronizing across multiple areas.
Fiery Sync is one of our big features. So
okay. So have you got some time to give us a bit of a demo?
I'd love to give you a demo.
That would be fantastic.
So when I start a demo session, what I see here is a group of printers in San Francisco, a group in Milan, and I'm tracking these two printers as a business owner. Every month I see one of the printer groups seem to be outperforming the other. I can get some information about what's going on. I can look to see if they're printing some black and white printers on their color device. But if I want to find more about what's going on between the San Francisco and Milan group, I can switch my view, and I can pull up these specific printers in San Francisco.
And just out of interest, what kind of printers are we talking about here? I know it could be anything, but in this example?
In this example, these are cut sheet printers, both color and black and white.
Yeah.
They're ones that I, as a business owner, have decided I have a San Francisco group, a Milan group, and I'd like these groups of employees to put more production through my printers.
Okay, so what's this screen that we're looking at here?
So this is the trend view where I can take a look and I can see, well, I see that my operators are not using what we call the automated workflow. They're sending jobs in a way that we don't recommend, and so we're losing time, they're spending time with a file print, they're clicking options and not just letting the jobs flow through. I can look at the media that we're printing, I can look at how many jobs are aired and get an idea of why this group of printers is doing less production than the other groups.
Okay.
The synchronization that we talked about.
Yep.
Now that I've purchased a Fiery, what I've done is I have personalized it, I've bedazzled it, I've made that my own Fiery. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how I can select one of these Fieries, look at the configuration that I've built on that Fiery. I can look at all the settings that I've done, and now I can create a configuration package, put that to the cloud. Everything I've done to personalize that Fiery is now going to the cloud, and I can restore it later to either that Fiery or multiple Fieries in my shop. Let's take a look real quickly at one of my deployed. In this Fiery, in this deployment, what I can see is on June 1st, the configuration worked correctly, but I have one that failed, and I can go take a look. I can see the profiles went correctly, the virtual printers, but in paper catalog, one of the paper catalog entries failed to update. What this allows me to do is configure my fleet and manage it so every Fiery produces similar data because it's configured the same. Another feature we put in for our fleet management, one of the problems people have is a Fiery's in a remote location. It's turned off. How do I get that configuration to take a look at that Fiery? Now with the data pushed to the web, I can click on a Fiery. This Fiery happens to be offline. It hasn't been up for 28 days, but I can still look at its paper catalog. I can inspect the details of that paper catalog. I'm doing this from Dusseldorf. This printer could be in Milan, it could be in San Francisco, yet I can still see its configuration of when it last reported in. One last feature I'll show you is alerts. Okay. With our alerts, what we built is a feature so when I'm away from my print shop, I can set up a trigger that says, in this case, 15 minutes. If my printer has been in an air state for a certain amount of time, in this case it was 15 minutes, it was jammed, I as a business owner can get an email that says, hey, your team's goofing off, they're not loading paper into the Fiery, let's call them up, say get to work, clear the jam, help me produce more jobs, help me make more money.
So tell me, one of my area is kind of wide format.
Okay.
That's where I grew up in.
Oh, very good.
How much Fiery adoption are we seeing in wide format, do you think?
Yeah, so we're seeing a crazy amount, and so I'm working with several customers right now as they see particularly the move from offset to digital.
Yeah.
They're able to bring in shorter runs, personalize them, and do things that they just could not believe they could take those type of jobs before. I worked with a customer recently where we examined what they were doing on their existing 1625, one of our wide format devices, looked at their data and saw that they were outsourcing a huge amount of money. They could actually upgrade their system, bring more digital work in, and with the money they were saving, pay for the digital lease. So a very huge transition.
Okay. And so whereabouts are you based with EFI?
So
are you in Fremont or?
I work in a log house from Oregon.
Wow.
So my team is all over the world.
Okay.
And so I've convinced my supervisors that I can live anywhere in the world as well.
Well, I guess if you're selling Fiery, which has a massive remote management element to it, then
very good.
Then you should kind of be able to live it as well.
That's right.
Okay. And how many Drupas have you done?
This is my second one.
Okay. And were you in the industry before that, or?
Yeah, I've been in the industry since I graduated. One of my first projects was work with a defense contractor, and we actually took some data that was in tabular form and put it in a spreadsheet so people could see elevation data, put it in a graphical interface. So more years than I'd like to admit I've been in the industry.
I think that's the same for all of us, and we all kind of fell into it as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what do you think of the trends of this Drupa? Because we've had a lot of people talking about the cloud. Some people are saying it's the inkjet Drupa. Some people are saying it's the corrugated packaging Drupa. What do you think?
Well, I think it's, for me personally, it's a navigator Drupa where through the cloud I connect to our Nozomi corrugated. We're showing a demo of connecting to our inkjet. And so again, we believe we tie them together with the cloud. So they're really, it's all the same Drupa, but it's really cloud access, cloud driven.
Okay. And if you want people to take away a couple of messages about Fiery specifically, what would they be?
You know, we normalize the experience, so we're not OEM specific, and so a Fiery is a consistent interface. I think we are, empowering the customer. We're bringing the feature in a consistent way to the customer. I believe that they will continue to see. One of the things that we do is we build features into Command Workstation, and we don't charge the customer for those features. So you buy a Fiery today, if your lease is for 5 years, over those 5 years you'll continue to get features. They'll just show up in Command Workstation.
Okay. I guess one of the confusing things maybe from the outside is that Fiery has so many different products, so many different iterations, so many different modules, so many different features. How are you meant to work out, kind of as a newcomer to Fiery, which elements are right for you?
Yeah, that's a great point. So one, we work very closely with our partners, and so as they study your needs, our SDM, our TSS team will come alongside and walk through that process. It can be a bit overwhelming, but what you'll see is I believe we do a good job of listening to where the customer's at. Our best sweet spot is when a customer is making money today. We can come alongside, and even before trying to sell them something, say, with this component, we can help you with your current workflow make more money. We can drive down the cost, drive down the wait time. And so I won't say it's not a complex experience, but I believe with the portfolio, you'll see an emphasis on a portfolio solution and people that help you, bring you each step of the way.
Okay. I know that one thing that sometimes puts people off adopting new software or adopting an end-to-end workflow is, okay, so you've got that conceptual element that we just spoke about and how to get past that barrier. But what about the actual installation time? Because, for example, I know a lot of printing businesses have had to cut down their staff, have had to, working extra hours to make everything meet. And so I think people find it difficult to find the 2 or 3 days downtime that's actually necessary to get that kind of end-to-end software, workflow into place. What would you say to those guys in order to encourage them towards adoption?
You know, I would say that we've all lived it. There's so many of us that have come from a production background that was our life as well at one point, and so we understand the need. You can't be down for days. And so, you know, it is, I would encourage that to spend the time. The benefit is worth it. There will be a learning curve, but the people that embrace it early, I talked to some users a while back at a franchise company, and the ones that embrace the technology earlier are the ones that are getting multiple franchises, the ones that are far ahead. And so, like anything, there will be a pain point, but we believe the rewards will quickly pay off.
Out of interest, what is your favourite piece of print? I've been asking all of the EFI people this. What is your personal favourite piece of print?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, you should have prepped me with that question. I could have thought about it a bit. So, you know, I've got to admit, the stuff that they're doing over here on the ViewTech, even though I'm on the digital toner side, we're focused on the production of making things faster. It's not quite as sexy as being able to take a picture of something, put it over a bicycle helmet, and wear Darth Vader down the road. So that's pretty cool stuff.
Andy, thank you so much for your time. It's been a real pleasure to talk to you.